Street performers are a common sight worldwide. When passers-by encounter them, they often stop and give the performers a quick glance, perhaps even wonder about them. Where are they from? What is their story? And why are they choosing the uncertainty of the street as their workplace? Sometimes they may even stay throughout the act, perhaps express their appreciation with a little donation. Other times, the passers-by can be an indifferent crowd who choose to ignore the street action no matter how good it is. In this cheerful city of Christchurch, New Zealand, the street performers are anything but ignored. Every summer, this beautiful town embraces top buskers, or street performers, as they are called, from all over the world. This celebrated happening is an international event that is entirely dedicated to their talents and skills. This festival is a venue for some of the most skilled jugglers, acrobats, comedians, and other crowd grabbers.
Sounds rich. So you're from Christchurch, we're from LA, so watch wall.
It is known as the World Buskers Festival. Christchurch is a lively city. For 2 weeks every January, it hosts this often underrated but mysterious art form. Christchurch is located in New Zealand's South Island on the east coast. The region is called Canterbury, a diverse and beautiful location that offers a variety of fun activities throughout the year. The Buskers Festival, along with the magnificent scenery, is a must for the local Kiwis, as well as foreign visitors.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard the Christchurch Tramways, tram number 244. Certainly hope you've been enjoying your stay in the Garden City, and the weather has held out quite nicely. To our left-hand side, of course, the red brick Italianate building, the oldest building in the square, the old post office and central police station. And on our left-hand side, of course, the beautiful Christchurch Anglican Cathedral. Foundation stone of the cathedral in 1864 took them a good 40 years to complete. And of course, Cathedral Square out to our left-hand side. The site of many of the buskers, which were here as part of the International Buskers Festival.
The festival takes place in a range of venues around the city, all open-air venues, from the beach to the central city to the Art Center of Christchurch, which used to be the university. It started in 1994 because I had an idea that street performance would work really well in this city, and I knew that there were a few street performers that lived here. There were street performers in Australia. I knew about that because they had kind of crashed other festivals that I produced. So I went and got a little bit of money, and I started this thing that was a small street performers festival, and it's just evolved into this large street performers festival. Anybody that takes their craft or their skill to the footpath and sets up a show that becomes their stage and performs to the general public, and with the hope that they would get a donation of something in the hat, money, a card, a thank you. That's the definition, in my mind, of a street performer. I like the chaos. I like the style of the variety of performance that comes with street performers. They're interesting. They've lived places. They've done things. They're versatile. They're easy. They're usually easy.
Busking is one of the boldest of the performance arts because if the audience doesn't like the show, they can just walk away. But here in Christchurch, the streets as well as the Arts Center stage are always packed with a grateful audience. They are exposed to the best and most daring world of the buskers. The Top Twins are a local duo that have a cult following in New Zealand. When they come on stage, they bombard the audience with their energy and unpredictable act.
We've been doing it now. We've been performing now, Cat Mother and myself, for now 25 years.
That's right.
We've been together longer than the Beatles. You've got to have a lovely figure for a start, like myself. And talented is always handy. Yeah, talent and figure. You've got to present yourself well. The whole thing about going out and doing a show is that you've got to connect with them, you see, and that's the main thing. If you come to one of our shows, you get crowd participation and comedy and music and songs, and yodeling, everything. You get everything. Everything.
You will throw the cow or the pig as far as close as you can, so Pete can actually try and get it in. All right, you stand for God, everybody.
That's what makes it a show happen. Spontaneity, people love it. And the thing is, it works because we never know what's going to happen, you see? And if we don't know what's going to happen, well, the audience hasn't got a clue, have they? That's the tension in the show. When you go out on that stage, it's like the first time you've ever gone out, and Cat Mother and myself, we like to have that little bit of tension. And it's spontaneous.
Where are you going? Young man, where are you going? Leave him alone, he won't know. He's a busy bee. Hang on, he's going into the men's, I think. I'm right behind you, young man.
What you've got to do is just got to go out and just give all. And even if you don't know what's coming, just make it up on the spot. That's very important. I can't stress that enough.
Seymour and Alfred are the Blackstreet Boys from Los Angeles. They are cousins that travel and perform around the world.
They're kind of quiet. They're making a noise and that.
Wait. I'm looking at the people's face. I see what the problem is.
What's that?
The music is not funky enough.
I got some problem.
We actually started dancing first. And then we started doing the comedy afterwards, you know. That was the street. We would just dance, and then we eventually would add in comedy lines here and there, and then we just started doing more and more comedy and less dancing, more comedy, less dancing. And that thing, you know, we wasn't even dancing no more. Watch. That was stupid, but I like it. Busking goes way back, you know, and a lot of people don't know that that's what it's called in the States. A lot of people don't know it was called busking, you know, in vaudeville. They just know of it as a street performer. Sometimes people think, well, street performer, oh, that's a guy who works on the street, you know, and try to make it sound downplaying it, but it ain't no different than, like I say, being an actor in a TV show or, you know, in a movie.
We got some bracelets. Some bling. Yeah, some LAPD bracelets. Yeah, look at that, some LAPD bracelets. Those are nice. Hello? Hey, what you wearing, girl? Hey, what day? What you talking about? Yeah.
Oh, this is the dude. I'm sorry. Is that the husband? What's wrong with him? All right, Trev, so we're back to the show. Now, don't forget, when the music starts, follow him. Follow me. Yes, I follow you. All right, here we go. Wait. Okay. Yeah, be cool. Oh, yeah. Come on, Trev. Here we go. We kind of talk to people in the audience, kind of put them on the spot, not in a bad way, just put them on the spot so you feel like, just to see their reaction, because, they're not used to being, in the spot all the time. And it's kind of like, kind of put them on the spot just a little bit. Look at that! And they say a white man can't jump. That's when we do Vegas. Oh, well, okay. We do a little drag. Oh, that's right. Yes, okay. We're versatile. Okay, I quit. Come on, do it right. We like dance, but then we ain't gotta be so serious. Like, we ain't trying to show the people like we are good dancers, but at the same time, it's telling a story. We make it fun, comedy dancing with it. It's comedy too.
What, you wanna do something?
Yeah, we can do a little something. It's like if I do a move, like I dance. I'll make fun of it. Tap with it or something. Something stupid. And then go back to dancing, like that. Like I say, if you have any complaints maybe about our show, yeah, if you saw something in the show you didn't like, you can write it on a $100 bill, put it in the bucket. Somebody put an American 10 in, it's like $100 here. You can buy a house with that.
We're having anybody be a shirt roast and send it 3 times. Show me.
From England, Bongo Bolero, relative newcomers to the street, dazzle the festival goers with their take on an old married couple who have been doing cruise ships way too long.
I've learned so much about myself and still am learning a huge amount about myself through performing. Yeah, learning how to communicate with people. I'm quite a shy person. Actually, a lot of performers are quite shy. Maybe we just need other people's love and maybe we get that from the audience.
We were very lucky to get into this festival. It was through recommendations from other performers who saw us last year. So yeah, we feel blessed actually to have been invited to this festival. It is one of the best in the world.
The festival shows are free of charge, and payment is a viewer's choice. Asking for money at the end of an act is an art unto itself. Each performer does it differently, and by the end of the day, it defines what making a living on the street really is.
You could all leave at the end without paying. You could do. But remember, you will come back in your next life as a slug.
Our background is very much doing paid shows. The whole thing about asking for money on the street is quite new to us, and there's a lot of psychology in it. It's not easy. It's not easy at all, but we're learning. It's a slow process.
I should just say, my name is Misbehave. I come all the way from London, England. I saw a magician about 5 years ago, and it just blew my mind. I saw him play with people, I saw there was no script, I saw it was just fun, and the people, you could do what you want, the real freedom, and I just found it fascinating, and I thought I'd give it a go. And it was really hard, and it took me a long time to be able to do it well. Fascinates me that you can get a blank square with no people in it, and then at the end you can have a crowd of people together. I think it's amazing. I've had one accident. I cut my stomach once and nearly died from internal bleeding. Very unpleasant, so I do try and not do that. It's really dangerous.
Carry the heavy load. Maybe the electrolyte.
Do something you've never seen before, something from a foreign country or so. Okay, but first we have to profess the Let me tell you what I'm going to do. It's very simple. If you pay attention over the third, I don't have to go back to prison. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
So when are you scared?
When he does, like, sometimes I'm scared when he, like, tries to eat the gum off the knife and, like, if he's gonna stab it into his stomach.
And what about you, Abigail? Oh, I've seen him do it thousands of times, so I know he'll be fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you see anything you like, please clap.
Excuse me, sorry, she is my wife. Thank you very much. Danger. This one, by the way, is for Allie. Booyah, baby. Danger.
The Daredevil Chicken Club traveled from Boston, Massachusetts to break down social barriers with humor, acrobatics, and a game called Strip Banana.
We debated for several days whether we were going to be in underwear or not. Because it's either going to be a good thing or it's going to be a bad thing.
We were lucky that Lou took off his clothes.
That was the volunteer.
The interesting thing about getting an audience member on stage is that you don't know what they're going to do. And then when he does take off his clothes, it's even more exciting. And he was enjoying himself. That was the nice thing about it. He didn't look like he was being forced into it. I really love seeing a crowd build and seeing people like laughing together and smiling at the same thing. People that wouldn't normally be standing next to each other in a group, they're all laughing at something that they're all experiencing together, and that's just really nice to see. They weren't expecting it. In general, they're not expecting it.
All right, men, what I need you to do now is hold yourselves passionately.
She means fold your arms.
Passionately.
It's a very manly thing.
Love yourself. Right now, lie back on each other's laps. Passion.
She just means lie back on the other man's lap.
Passion.
It's a very manly thing.
Passion.
It's about men. There you go, yeah.
Nice and flat. It's okay, you need to put your head back. You're not going to touch anything bad.
Last time, that's number one. You can do this. Number 12, number for each one. You can do this. All right. Right. Number 1. Oh boy, this is it. It's all you now. It's all you. Do this. Go.
Keep your hands down.
Don't move. Okay, I'm coming in.
Keep it steady. Okay, quickly.
You guys, when I get in position, you grab my arms. Go ahead, grab them.
Grab
Nice
really
and
quick.
strong. On the count of
Hold on.
3, you pull yourselves up at the same time so I don't fall on you. 1,
Don't grab her butt.
1, 2, 3.
Get me off this thing!
Fellas, there's a rocket you can get down.
Transcending cultural and language barriers, the Gamerjabats from Tokyo stood out on the streets of Christchurch with their special brand of mime and humor. Alakazam hails from Australia, a bona fide contortionist who manages to shock his audience and make them laugh at the same time as he slides his entire body through a squash racket.
This is the last thing you thought you'd see. Check it out, folks. It gets better. There's an applause cue in about 5 seconds. Don't miss it.
There's lots of people who are flexible, but there's only a couple that actually perform. And I didn't even do that when I started. I just did juggling show, whatever. And then I started throwing it in, and people really liked it. So I just put more of it in and made a whole show out of it. But I didn't really know that I could make money from it.
Don't worry, it's alright. It's all part of the show. Sorry. I'm gonna go over and freak out the girls in the car. Anyway, I know what to do. I can make this easier. I'm going to show you all an amazing feat of contortion that's going to freak you out. Sorry about that. Sorry, lady.
It hurts if you don't stretch properly. Yeah. If I wake up and go into a show and without stretching, then it's like, oh.
You guys on the ropes? From now on, my life is in your hands. It's easy to watch me. If it looks like I'm falling on you, I am. Perfect, I can see everything. I'm just kidding, I'm just handing the cleavage. The cleavage.
Just a 2.5-hour drive north of Christchurch on the Pacific coast is the town of Kaikoura, formerly a rest stop on the road to Picton. This Maori settlement and former whaling village has become a mecca for ecotourism, with its spectacular coastline overlooked by snow-capped mountains. Blessed with abundant marine life, a rich native history, and beautiful scenery, Kaikoura has become a must-stop. Kaikoura is a Maori word meaning feast of the crayfish, a very tasty lobster without claws. Kaikoura is also the name of a marine canyon, 1.5 kilometers from shore, that is 22,000 feet deep, and home to an incredible variety of sea life, including the giant squid, along with its mortal enemy, the sperm whale. Whale Watch is a local company founded by the Maori community that offers daily tours throughout the year to catch a glimpse of these deep-diving mammals. Finding them is not for the impatient, but the expert guides know that these 60-ton giants must come to the surface to replenish their oxygen supply. They guide their boats to where they think this occurs. They usually get it right.
Pretty much 99% of the time. Every trip we do. We've got a really high success rate, and we have whales off the coast 12 months of the year. They can grow up to a length of roughly around 60 feet. The amazing thing about this animal is they weigh roughly around a tonne per foot, so nearly twice as or 3 times as heavy as your average bus. Sperm whales are probably the world's deepest diving champions. They are better than any submarine that man have managed to put together. They can dive to phenomenal depths. The deepest dive recorded of any sperm whale was in excess of 3,000 metres. They can survive on oxygen stored both in muscle and in blood. So that really gives them an oxygen supply, an oxygen bank that can sustain them for up to 2 hours underneath the water. Yeah, amazing animal.
Wings Over Whales takes off and flies over the Kaikoura Peninsula to a very unique vantage point. 2/3 of the sperm whale's body remains below the surface, so an overhead view can be quite revealing. Like their counterparts on the water, Wings Over Whales guarantees a 95% chance of finding a whale refueling.
This whale is about to die. It will come back up, wiped off for one more blast of oxygen. The dropping of that is the arching of the back. Get ready. Take your photos now. And wipe off his ball.
It's gorgeous.
Maurice Manawatu started the first Maori cultural experience in Kaikoura several years ago. He and his family are part of the Nai Tatu tribe, the largest on the South Island. Maori Tours offers a window into the culture and history of the indigenous peoples of New Zealand.
What Jasmine done is what we call the karanga. And the karanga, it's a call of welcome. Whenever you go onto an old site like this, or onto a marae, which is the gathering place today, you always get the call of welcome. What it also does, or the belief is, it clears a pathway spiritually. It's something we've done for the last 1,000 years, you know, and we still do today. I just want to explain the hongi. The hongi is how Māori people greet each other. It's with the pressing of the nose, nose to nose. Everything in nature has what we call a mauri, and a mauri is an essence or a life force. It's what gives us life. And the main mauri is the air we breathe. So when you do the hongi, the 1, 2, it's about a sharing of that essence and a coming together in peace.
At the end of the tour, Morris takes the visitors to his home to practice their hongi technique on his family and learn a traditional Maori song. For an off-road adventure, Glenstray Farms offers a 2.5-hour, four-wheeling adrenaline rush through 1,600 acres of prime beachfront property.
They get on the machines, they're terrified of the machines for a start. They come out on the tracks and they really get into it. They really, really enjoy it. 1,600 acres, freehold property, which we farmed for 3 generations. So it's a good way to have a look at nature, basically.
A popular spot to get off the bikes and check out the views are the Haumari Bluffs, which look down on a large population of seals.
Seals out here aren't interrupted at all. The only time they get seen is when we come out, and we only look down upon them. We don't go right in amongst them. There'll be about 300 to 400 seals in our colony, and they're pretty much there all year round.
Still a common sight in New Zealand are sheep. Peter and Gwenda Smith raised the woolly critters and put on a sheep shearing show for the curious.
Well, there used to be 80 million sheep in New Zealand 12 years ago, but the price of lamb and wool then wasn't good, so sheep farmers went out of it or went into other types of farming. Some went into farming deer, and a lot of the good sheep farms went into dairy cows for dairy products.
We've just got 100 acres left along the front side here, which we've kept just for doing sheep shearing shows for the tourists, and we run our B&B from the old farmhouse. You can't. Here you go, Humphrey. You know help, mate.
Okay, this is the one we're going to share for you today. Now if you look there, that there's coming up 6 months growth there, and that on other breeds would be 12 months, and some wouldn't grow that. The headpiece girls.
To get to the high country of Canterbury, you head southwest for a 2-hour drive back in time. It is here that Samuel Butler, one of New Zealand's most famous authors, wrote about this harsh landscape in his classic novel, Erewhon. Erewhon, spelled backwards, is nowhere. Today, Erewhon is famous for Mount Sunday, a lonely rock sitting in the Rangitata River Valley.
Here we are on Mount Sunday. This was the set of Edoras. So there was the great big hall and several smaller houses, and there's that's a famous shot of all the people with the horses ready to go off for the battles, and all of the Rohan riders were based here. One day a location scout came and knocked on the door and said, "Can we make part of Lord of the Rings on your farm?" And we said, "Well, yeah, okay." And a year later, a circus arrived and made a movie. It was just marquee after marquee and makeup wagons and telecom towers, and it was full on. It was not like being on the farm at all, being out here. It was just like Disneyland. This area is kind of a mecca for Lord of the Rings fans. We get a lot of people out here. And before the filming, we would have been lucky to see 2 cars a week down this road, and now it's like 20 a day, and people are always parked at the gate and walking out here. And now there are a couple of commercial sort of tour operators that bring people out here as well. And there's people like Warren with Tussock and Beach Eco Tours who bring people out, and he talks about the movie obviously, but also about the ecology of the area and how it was formed and the bird and plant life living here. So it's actually a really good overview of this valley. I mean, there's a lot more to it than just the Lord of the Rings. It's special in its own way.
Not far down the road from Mount Sunday, Warren Jovett leads small groups on an eco-tour in a mountain beach forest. On a rainy day, it can be magical.
This plant we're looking at here is a hebe. Maori call it kotomiko. You can just see that it's in flower. Just this little bud just coming into flower. It's interesting in that we find hebes as well over in South America, in Chile. And this is a good sign of the fact that New Zealand and South America and Antarctica and Australia were once part of this ancient Gondwana, this ancient southern continent. Drifted apart 85 million years ago. And we see these signs with the plants. This stream is unique. You can see that it's beautiful, clear water. We can drink the water from here. I like to bring people here because of the fact they can see this lovely clear water. It drains an ancient volcanic mountain, Mount Somers. It was formed 90 million years ago. And from the stream have come all these boulders, these rhyolite boulders. We're standing on top of Mount Sunday. It's a little glacial feature right here in the middle of Erewhon, in the middle of this Canterbury high country. And when I bring Lord of the Rings fans up here, they are just fascinated to be here. But they also are so impressed with this environment, this magnificent mountain-surrounded land. And they just love it. It's just a great place to be. And you can just imagine hobbits just running around this place.
This is Clearwater. We're on the edge of Christchurch. It's a $450 million development, lifestyle resort. At the end of February, we have the New Zealand PGA tournament, which is a co-sanctioned event from the US PGA and the Australasian PGA. So it's a pretty cool place to work.
What would you describe as a typical New Zealand dish?
Well, I think New Zealand food's changed considerably over the last 30, 40 years, as in everything. The whole world's gotten smaller, so there's no difference between modern European food and modern New Zealand food. In the 50s, you'd sit here and say, well, it was roast lamb and 3 veg, whereas now it might be something from Thailand, like a quick stir fry or a pad thai.
There you go, just sit on top, a little Szechuan pepper, salt, a little Thai basil, and there's the dish. When you live 12,000 miles away from the rest of civilization, you get sick and tired of being told about the Eiffel Tower, about London Bridge, about the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's better to go see it for yourself. So the influence once again through Europe, through France, through Spain, through Asia, through America. On this one we have lamb sweetbreads, which are beautiful little delicate glands that we've braised down, and then we've wrapped them in the pastry. So this is the 2004 version of this. This is where we've gone in 40 years, which is great. A little bit more flavour, use a few more ingredients, nice jus, finish with beautiful local wine. And instead of a nice well-cooked lamb chop, over there you have some nice medium rare backstrap.
So tell me just the truth. Don't you like this dish?
No, man, I don't eat things like that. That's garbage. That's life.
turning right now, pulling into what is New Regent Street, pedestrian mall. This was of course built back in the 1930s and very much considered the forerunner to the modern shopping mall in New Zealand.
I'm with her, she's with me. Bread and butter, tea and tea. Side by side, 2 is 2. 1 is 1, but who is who? I'm with her.
Back in Christchurch, the Buskers go about their business of entertaining the festival goers. January is the height of New Zealand summer. The World Buskers Festival is one of the main summer attractions. It's a great place to escape to. Everybody gets into the act.
Hold on a second. Head down. Put your head down. Ed, you'll have to check the clearance here. You're good, man. Go. I think he's enjoying that too much. What's a show without a little bit of romance? Stand up, man. Face the front, smile, and peek out to the audience.
We choose to be street performers because we think it's an honest way to make a living. You get paid what you're worth, only by the people that watch. There's no other job like this in the entire world. I do what I was born to do. Thanks a lot.
We just love doing it. It's just a lifestyle for us, a lifestyle.
Would you like to say something to the American audience, North American audience?
Was this going to America? Oh, we'd like to say something to America. Goodbye.